नमस्ते बिटिया, हमेशा खुश रहो। आई एम JVN डॉक्टर सुमन शेखावत, डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ काय चिकित्सा, फैकल्टी ऑफ आयुर्वेदिक साइंसेज, ज्योति विद्यापीठ, विमेंस यूनिवर्सिटी, जयपुर। Today we will talk on examination of COPD. COPD is chronic obstructive pulmonary disease is defined as a preventable and treatable disease characterized by persistent airflow limitation that is usually progressive and associated with an enhanced chronic inflammatory response in the airways and the lung to noxious particle or gases. Related diagnoses include chronic bronchitis, cough or sputum for at least 3 consecutive months in each of 2 consecutive years, and emphysema, abnormal permanent enlargement of the air spaces distal to the terminal bronchioles, accompanied by destruction of their walls and without obvious fibrosis. Risk factor for development of chronic obstructive pulmonary diseases. Environmental factor is tobacco smoke accounts for 95% of cases. Indoor air pollution, cooking with biomass fuel in confined areas in developing countries, occupational exposure such as coal dust, silica, and cadmium. Low birth weight may reduce maximally attained lung function in young adults' life. Lung growth. Childhood infection or maternal smoking may affect growth of lung during childhood, resulting in a lower maximally attained lung function in adult life. Infection is recurrent infection may accelerate decline in FEV1. Persistence of adenovirus in lung tissue may alter local inflammatory response, predisposing to lung damage. HIV infection is associated with emphysema. Low socioeconomic status, cannabis smoking, and host factor. Genetic factors are alpha 1 antitrypsin deficiency and other COPD susceptibility genes are likely to be identified. Airways hyperreactivity. Cigarette smoking represent the most significant risk factor for COPD, and the risk of developing the condition relate to both the amount and duration of smoking. It is unusual to develop COPD with less than 10 packs years. One pack year equal to 20 cigarette per day per year, and not all smokers develop the condition, suggested that individual susceptibility factors are important. Pathophysiology. COPD has both pulmonary and systemic component. Pulmonary component loss of elastic tissue, inflammation and fibrosis in airways wall result in premature airway closure, gas trapping and dynamic hyperinflation, leading to changes in pulmonary and chest wall compliance, enlargement of mucus secreting gland, and increase in number of goblet cells, accompanied by an inflammatory cell infiltrate, result in increased sputum production, leading to chronic bronchitis, unopposed action of protease and oxidant, leading to destruction of alveoli and appearance of emphysema. The work of breathing is therefore markedly increased, first on exercise when the time of expiration is further shortened, but then as the disease advances at rest. Emphysema may be classified by the pattern of the enlarged air spaces, centriacinar, panacinar, and paraseptal bully form in some individual. This result in impaired gas exchange and respiratory failure. Systemic component. Muscular weakness reflecting deconditioning and cellular changes in skeletal muscle, increased circulating inflammatory markers, impaired salt and water excretion leading to peripheral edema, altered fat metabolism contributing to weight loss, prevalence of osteoporosis. Clinical features. COPD should be suspected in any patient over the age of 40 years. who present with symptoms of chronic bronchitis and other breathlessness. Developing on the presentation, important differential diagnoses include chronic asthma, tuberculosis, bronchiectasis, and congestive cardiac failure. Cough and associated sputum production are usually the first symptom and are often referred to as a smoker's cough. Hemoptysis may complicate exacerbation of COPD but shouldn't be attributed to COPD without thorough investigation. Breathlessness usually prompt presentation to a health professional. The level should be qualified on the basis of scales such as the Modified Medical Research Council dyspnea scale may be useful. Modified Medical Research Council dyspnea scale is grade 0, no breathlessness except with strenuous exercise. Grade 1 is breathlessness with hurrying on the level or walking up a slight hill. Grade 2 is walk slower than contemporaries on level ground because of breathlessness or have to stop for breath when walking at on pace. Grade 3 is stop for breath after walking about 100 meter or after a few minutes on level ground. Grade 4 is to breathless to leave the house or breathless when dressing or undressing. In advanced disease, inquiry should be made as to the presence of edema, which may be seen for the first time during an exacerbation, and morning headache, which may suggest hypercapnia. No specific physical sign. Breathe sound are typically quiet. Crackles may accompany infection, but if persistent, raise the possibility of bronchiectasis. Finger clubbing is not a feature of COPD. Should trigger further investigation for lung cancer or fibrosis. Right heart failure may develop in patients with advanced COPD, particularly if there is coexisting sleep apnea or thromboembolic disease, core pulmonale. COPD patients often have pitting edema from salt and water retention caused by renal hypoxia and hypercapnia. Fatigue, anorexia, and weight loss may point to the development of lung cancer or tuberculosis, but are common in patients with severe COPD, and the body mass index BMI is of prognostic significance. Depression and anxiety are also common and contribute to morbidity. Two classical phenotypes have been described: pink puffer and blue blotter. The former are typically thin and breathless and maintain a normal PaCO2 until the late stage of disease. The latter develop or tolerate hypercapnia earlier and may develop edema and secondary polycythemia. Investigation is no reliable radiographic sign that correlate with the severity of airflow limitation. A chest X-ray is essential to identify alternate diagnoses such as cardiac failure, other complications of smoking such as lung cancer, and the presence of bullying. A blood count is useful to exclude anemia or document polycythemia. And in younger patients with predominantly basal emphysema, alpha 1 antitrypsin should be assessed. Their diagnosis required objective demonstration of airflow obstruction by spirometry and is established when the post bronchodilator FEV1 and FVC is less than 70%. The severity of COPD may be defined in relation to the post bronchodilator FEV1 greater than and equals to 80%, FEV1% equals to mild, 50 to 70% FEV1% is moderate, 30 to 49 FEV1% is severe, less than 30% FEV1 is very severe. Measurement of lung volume provide an assessment of hyperinflation. The presence of emphysema is suggested by a low gas transfer during lung plethysmography. Exercise tests provide an objective assessment of exercise tolerance and provide a baseline on which to judge the response to bronchodilator therapy or rehabilitation programs. They may also be valuable when assessing prognosis. Pulse oximetry may prompt referral for a domiciliary oxygen assessment if less than 93%. HRCT is likely to play an increasing role in the assessment of COPD as it allows the detection, characterization, and qualification of emphysema and is more sensitive than the chest X-ray as detecting bullying. It is also used to guide lung volume reduction surgery. Thank you. This session is powered by Digital Version 2.0 Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University. I hope you all are satisfied with this session. If you feel any kind of problem with this session, then mention it in comment box. I will resolve it soon. Thank you.